For Steven Adams, you can't be getting back to the middle of nowhere here. You got to find this Wizards trailer, Porzingis. I mean, like, you can't go towards the ball because who's guarding the trailer? If you're Santi Aldama, you can't worry about the ball when it's all the way across the court. You got to sprint back. Like, look at Aldama. Why are you looking at the ball right now and now Monty Morris is ahead of you? I mean, I don't know why John Conchar is trying to go under this screen. Look at how much space you have to go over. I mean, why are you not going over? So if you're going to go under, though, like, you can't attempt... Look, you're trying to go over the screen first. Look at his feet right there. So now you're just not going to get on the other side in any amount of time. And you got to get up more if you're Brandon Clark. I don't know. I mean, like, up. First of all, Porzingis is popping off the screen anyway, so you want to get up so you can recover to him. But you got to be able to stunt at the ball and recover. Like, Brandon Clark is really, like, not doing anything here because if this pass was made to Porzingis, he'd be wide open too. Yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies are in drop coverage right here. If you're Dillon Brooks, you got to stay out to the perimeter. Like, you can't come all the way down here. I mean, again, you have 3 Grizzlies guarding the ball right now, and the other 2 are staring at the ball. So the perimeter is just going to be too open. And you go up for this layup, you got to get back. Like, these 2 players in the corner cannot, Santi Aldama and David Roddy cannot be just standing. Like, you have to get back. I mean, so now transition defense is impossible. What is Dillon Brooks doing here? Like, your man is setting a down screen. Why are you not up with your arms out showing so Kispert can't curl? Like, look at the space that gets created because you let Kispert curl. So now you're not going to be able to obviously guard this handoff. Can never guard like this with your man behind you. You got to keep your man in front of you with your back to the baseline, but your man is in front of you. You're not seeing your man. So he's about to fly off. Will Barton's about to fly off a down screen, and look at the space. You can't guard this down screen like that. So now Will Barton's in the lane, collapses the defense, and it's an open Goodwin 3. I mean, Santi Aldama, first of all, is just staring at the ball when this Grizzlies player is already here and help. Like, you don't even know what Rui Hachimura is doing, who you're guarding. So now Rui Hachimura catches this, and now this forces help from right here. And all that does is just leave Avdia. I mean, you got to be alert. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Dillon Brooks is calling out this flare screen. Like, you can't just not call this out. If you're Dillon Brooks, you're not seeing... Will Barton is setting a flare screen, so you got to be yelling out, flare, 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 so Steven Adams knows to get up. Like, Steven Adams just gets nailed with this flare screen, and Porzingis is open. I mean, if you're trying to be in drop coverage off this ball screen, again, your feet have to be set, or you're not going to be able to recover on this pick and stop. See, like, you got to be up, your feet have to be set if you want to be able to guard the ball and then recover on the pick and pop. See, look at this Grizzlies player's backpedaling. So now Avdia is just wide open off this pick and pop. I mean, again, Porzingis is going to run a pick and pop. This is on this Grizzlies guard, though. Like, when he sets up, he wants the drop coverage here. You got to wait for Brandon Clark to be there because Brandon Clark now has to sprint over to get in backside or to be at the drop man and drop coverage, and Porzingis is just wide open on the pick and pop. I mean, so the Grizzlies are in drop coverage here. This player can't come all the way. Like, why? I don't even know why this player is helping, but you can't come all the way over here. Like, what? Brandon Clark is dropping here. So you're coming all the way over. Now if Dia can just get it, go in the lane, collapse the defense, and it's another Porzingis open 3. If you're playing the gaps defensively, you got to be over here. You got to have your feet set. If you're moving towards the ball on the pass, you're never going to get out. Look at David Roddy here. Look at his feet. See how on the pass he's going towards the ball? So now it's just a catch and shoot 3. Okay, there's like 1,000 reasons you can't guard like this. I mean, your back's to the ball. Kyle Kuzma could very easily beat you backdoor, but you got to keep him in front of you with your back to the baseline. The other thing is you got to make him go over this down screen. Look at this. Kyle Kuzma goes this way. So what does that do? That means Santi Aldama can't be attached to Porzingis. So he's got to take a step back to let everyone through, and now he's going to be leaning this way trying to get back to Porzingis as Porzingis comes up here and is now open for 3. If you're Dillon Brooks, you got to get out with your man right here. Again, you're moving towards the ball on the pass. Like, look at Dillon Brooks. On this pass, he's moving inwards. So now he's going to be late to get outward, and Kuzma's in the lane. This is why you can't jog back in transition. Steven Adams, I'm assuming, is jogging back because he says, well, I'm taking Porzingis and I'm already ahead of him. No, you got to sprint back. Look at Steven Adams jogging here. So because Steven Adams jogs here as opposed to sprinting, he'd be right here and there'd be no place for this Wizards player to go. But now there is a place for this Wizards player to go. And I mean, that collapses like 4 Grizzlies players and obvious cut is open. I mean, you got too many Grizzlies players coming in backside help on Porzingis' role. If Konchar's coming in backside help, Aldima's got to stay home. Like, you have 4 Grizzlies players essentially guarding 2 Wizards players. So again, this Kuzma cut is just open. I mean, we got a turnover right here. So Steven Adams' eyes, you can see him staring at the ball. He just needs to sprint back. That's the only thing that's important. And Steven Adams, you can see, is not doing that. So now Kispert's ahead of everyone. Again, you can never have your back to your man like this. You have no idea what Goodwin's doing. Like, look at this. You're just standing in no man's land, and Goodwin's open for 3. Can't go under a screen when there's all this space to go over. Look at how much space this Grizzlies player has to go over. Like, come on, you got to go over. If you go under here, I mean, this is just a practice 3. I mean, if David Roddy is going to be in drop coverage, you have to keep the ball in front of you. That's like the first thing about drop coverage, and David Roddy just isn't doing that. So now Brandon Clark's got to come over here and also contest at the rim, and there's no one to box out Gafford. Okay, so Goodwin gets in the lane and collapses all these Grizzlies defenders. So David Roddy's coming over to the corner. First of all, this Grizzlies player needs to be leaving now. It's taking him too long. But his closeout, first of all, Konchar's got to come over here. He can't be going towards the ball. But your closeout can't be to deflect a pass. It's got to be to guard. Like, look at this Grizzlies player trying to deflect a pass. Now, part of that is because Konchar didn't come here right away. But, I mean, now Parton's open. Yeah, I mean, this Grizzlies player is just kind of standing in the middle of nowhere, and you're going, again, I don't know why he's standing there, but you're coming towards the ball on the pass. See, look at how you're going towards the ball on the pass, so now you're going to be late to get out to Hachimura. Again, this Grizzlies player is not, Konchar is not guarding with any urgency. First of all, he's not in a defensive stance, and again, he's in the middle of nowhere, but again, he's moved. Look at his feet. On the pass, he's moving here. So now Kyle Kuzma can just get it, rip and go right into the lane now. Okay, I mean, this is totally absurd. If you're Santi Aldama, you're guarding Corey Kispert, you got to keep him in front of you. Like, where is Santi Aldama going here? Stop. You got to keep him in front of you. Like, wherever you just went allows your own man to screen you. And now Kispert's wide open. Aldama goes up for the shot. Like, you got to start to get back. Like, it ends up being a block shot, so you really have to get back. But there's no point in just standing here. I mean, same thing with David Roddy, too, here in the corner. But so you have a lot of people just looking at the layup and transition defense. I mean, Santi Aldama should not be in the paint here. I don't even understand what he's doing in the paint. You should be out more. And you can't stare at the ball. So all of these things combined, now look. Now Kispert can come this way and you have no time to get up. And then you go up the gut of the down screen. I mean, I guess Steven Adams is staring at the ball. You obviously have to stay with Porzingis. He can shoot. I mean, look at Steven Adams. What are you doing? And so now, I mean, what? I mean, Steven Adams just isn't getting out to Porzingis with enough urgency. I mean, I don't know. Why are you even looking at the ball right now and you need to get out to Porzingis? So Porzingis catches this, you're not ready to guard. So now that forces Konchar to have to come in and help all the way over, and all it does is just leave Goodwin. First of all, if you're David Roddy, what is this like? You're like doing jumping jacks. Like, look at this. What is that? So you just left your feet for no reason. So now Kispert comes off this handoff, and you can't guard it. Now, Dylan Brooks, if he's supposed to switch this handoff, has to keep his hands off of Porzingis giving the handoff because he's got to be ready to guard off this switch. I mean, look at this. You have your hand on the screener right here, so you're not going to be ready to guard, and Kispert can just go right by.